Hello, my good people of the interwebs. It is time to share another article which has pretty much already been shared, more than likely by Alpha Omega Sin. But if you have not heard, this report comes from Kotaku, and it seems like it's another case of how far are you willing to dive for your console? Is a life really worth for a console or whatnot? Well, if you haven't heard this, this is probably the most recent article there is. A girl shoots a man for his PS4 while her baby watches. Daniel John Zitz, a former pro gamer, also known as Phobos, has been shot and killed in a bungled attempt to steal his PS4 console, according to police in Sandy Springs, Georgia. Zitz has organized the sale of his console via Craigslist and had arranged to meet 20-year-old Nathaniel Vivian and his 16-year-old girlfriend in an apartment parking lot for the exchange. Okay, there's your problem right there. Upon their arrival, however, Vivian reportedly grabbed Zait's console and tried to throw it in their car. While Zait's and the man struggled with the console, it's alleged that Vivian's unnamed girlfriend, with her 16-month-old baby sitting in the back seat, reports the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Fired a shot from a .25 caliber handgun, which passed through her boyfriend's hand and struck Zitz in the chest, killing him. Both suspects have been arrested, caught when Vivian attempted to have his gunshot wound treated at a nearby hospital. Huffington Post says that the shooter, despite being 16, will now be tried as an adult. Of course. Friends, family, and well-wishers can help cover the cost of Daniel's funeral by donating to this GoFundMe page. Okay, first off, I'm going to be as blunt as I possibly can. But first off, this has got to be the most tactless kill ever known. Of course, this reminds me of the same thing when the PS3 came out. I remember hearing about this. I didn't read about it. I heard about it. That one guy actually got a PS3, and someone shot him for it. Now, you ever notice that it's always Sony? You never hear about, somebody getting shot for an Xbox One or a Nintendo Wii U or a PS Vita. It's always the big, hefty consoles. Okay, first off, this guy's an idiot. He put on Craigslist. And one thing you should never do is, if you have to sell it, put it on a site in which you know is going to make some good money for it. Something like eBay or something like that. But no, you put it on Craigslist. Excuse me. This heat has been taking some life from me. So, as I said before, and I will say this again, no console is worth a life. I don't care if it's the newest thing. A console, no matter how hot it is, no matter how popular it is, it's not worth a life. I mean, if you ever wondered why I never bought a PS3 or PS4, there's your reason right there. Because I don't want to end up dead just because I own a PS3 or a PS4 or an Xbox One or these new generation systems. Not next generation, new generation. I don't see myself actually wanting to die for... I don't actually see myself dying for a game console. So you want it? Here, take it. But don't kill me for it, Excuse me. But, honestly, it's probably the most silliest. Yeah, it's silly. But at the same time, it's sad. And my thoughts about this is this. As much as I read the feed on Facebook and Twitter, we got people talking about, oh, we need to do this and we need to do that. No. That's fine and all, but we always argue over the most silliest things. As gamers, we always argue over the silliest things. You argue over Destiny, or you argue over this game, or the most popular games. We could talk about the most popular games. We can say our opinions about it. We can agree to disagree, and that's all fine and dandy. However, for something like this, and pardon me if I'm yawning so much during this recording. My thoughts about this stand. No life is worth a console. Especially if you do it like this, you're going to sell it on Craigslist. Craigslist is infamous for having crazy people, slightly disturbed people. And like I said, you have the internet at your disposal. Why would you want to choose something as, I don't know, Skid Row, when you get to Craigslist, you're basically heading to Skid Row and Wabash, okay? And I hate putting the two together, but that's what you got. That's the internet version of Skid Row and Wabash. You have Craigslist, because you have anybody to anybody. That's right, anybody to anybody. Whether you have somebody who is desperate or just fucked out of their minds, never post your shit to Craigslist, because you're always going to get something wrong. Excuse me. Because life is so short. People argue over the silliest things. People talk about the most silliest things. Video games is one of those things that, well, we often take for granted. Because most people don't know that there have been a lot of developing and a lot of development going into these consoles and games, and then you have the short end of stick people who start bitching and whining about this one game that they never played, but they only seen reviews on YouTube and whatnot. They say it looks cool and everything, and once they get it, they're not fulfilled with it because something is always missing to them. Gamers these days need to think with their heads. They really do. They really do need to think with their heads. I mean, if you're a gamer, you are instantly a consumer. You don't like it, that's fine. You can sell it. But if you have to sell it, if you got to sell it, take it to a place in which you know you can get something out of it. Take it to somewhere like GameStop or a mom and pop store. Because there are game stores that do take these things and they actually give you money for it. Or if you want to go to GameStop, you can get some store credit for it. But if you're going to throw it out there on the internet, you are not only taking a risk with what you're selling, but you're putting yourself at risk because of your information that you're putting out. So apparently, it doesn't matter if you are the greatest gamer in the known universe, you can still get snuffed out just as quick, just by not thinking. I mean, for what a console's worth, like say $300, $400 for a PS3 or a PS4, it's not worth it. I want to get a PS4. Alright, that's on you. But don't get it just because, this person has it, or it has this many games on it. Get it because you want it for yourself. Not just for the games that are just going to come out and everything. Because, I'll be honest, how I got my 360 is because I played Dragon Age. I enjoy Dragon Age. And that was Dragon Age Origins, mind you. I got it one Christmas, and I said, you know what? Yeah, let me get one, And they had good, they have good titles on the 360. So I said, well, it's worth it for what it is. It's worth it. Same goes for my Wii. It's worth it because I know the value of a good console. I didn't get it because everybody else has one, I should get one. No. It's because I have an account. And I should have one because my account exists. So I shouldn't be like, a wanderer, But it's sad to read stories like these because when you read something like this and you see what they did and how they did it, it's really disheartening because most people who want to get rid of their stuff don't use their minds. Although I had to say, yeah, it's terrible that a life had to be snuffed out because of a piece of hardware. A piece of hardware that they don't want to even own anymore. You're putting it on the internet, the worst part of the internet, by the way. And I don't know what else I can say to it. I mean, all I can say is it's bad judgment. So if you're gonna do it correctly. As if you check your surroundings. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna put it up online." No, check your surroundings first before you do anything like that. Let the internet be your last resort if you cannot do it in person. I mean, if you can't take it into a shop in which you can get something out of it, then you can use the internet. And make sure that you expand where you're going to take it. If you're going on eBay or Amazon or whatnot, then you could just say, "Oh, I want to put this here. I want to put it there." But like I said before, don't just be a gamer and be an avid fan and just go with whatever everybody else says. No. Be a smart gamer. Use as many resources as you have if you want a good deal for a console or a game. That means check the outside world and then check the cyber world. Because you never can tell. You never can tell. You might just want to check it out for yourself and just, you might get a better deal, you might get a worse deal. You never know. But you have to really think when you do something like sell off your console or whatnot. But like I said, this guy's an idiot. He got shot for this. He got shot for this one thing, and yeah, I like I said, he got shot for this one little thing that he did just because he wants a little scratch. It's a sad thing, yes, I know, but yeah. What can I say about it? So, with this report, I'm going to end it right here. And next time, more uplifting game videos. Until then, take care, God bless, and of course, Tenkai Muso.